Alright, listen up, hunters. The suggestion box that we recently implemented is now nearly stuffed to the brim, so I guess we have to read some of them. First,
all of the hunters should eat more food. They are looking peckish.
Okay, yeah, I guess that counts. Go, eat extra food then, hunters.
All the hunters should get to eat more food. It's tasty.
Okay, you know what? Never mind. None of the hunters get more food.
The handler should get the hunters extra food instead.
Okay, who submitted these? Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, it's time to get angry.
As Monster Hunter players, we all have our own unique opinions on everything in the games, from the true background of Dire Morales to the number of hairs on a great Jagrass's head. But sometimes those opinions are, well, a little bit hard to swallow. So today I'll be spitting back up some particularly gnarly posts or comments about the series, and then I'll be spitting on them too, just to assert dominance. Firstly, a quick disclaimer that I don't hate or even dislike any of the people who said these things. I just heavily disagree with whatever it is that they happen to say in that moment. No hard feelings, I mean it. As well, if you get the same enjoyment that I do from seeing these, opinions, I guess you could call them, then go have a follow over at the Monster Hunter Takes Twitter account, who has been collecting a large number of people's bad takes on this series. Alright, Commander, if you wouldn't mind getting us rolling.
It's free ads for Playboy, and everyone who is into girls loves the ads and might even spend more time playing the games, which is in the interest of the developer. It's brilliant video game marketing. I wish Monster Hunter World had collectible Playboy magazines. Imagine.
What the hell are you smoking? Is it a cigar while wearing a dinner jacket, open-toed sandals, and no pants beside your outdoor pool? Because this gives off an extreme sleazeball aura. Sorry to break it to you, but not everyone who is attracted to humans wants to have sexualized humans in front of them during every single aspect of their daily life. And the idea that you just want to see official art of the in-game characters like this randomly laying about the world while you play says a lot more about you as an individual than it does about what the game is quote-unquote lacking. But hey, if Capcom is gonna ignore my thoughts and listen to this person, then they can at least include something for everyone, like me. That said, this is a super outdated mindset, buddy, and not something that we need to see in the slightest inside of our Monster Hunter games. Commander?
In relation to a Monster Hunter Rise post, guess Monster Hunter World is done. Cash grab to fund the movie being made by the looks.
Okay, I'm sorry, do you have any idea in the slightest how either video games or movies or video game movies actually work? Money made from Monster Hunter Rise would never go to fund the Monster Hunter movie, and vice versa. They are completely separate entities for all intents and purposes aside from the universe that they are based in. However, even if this wasn't the case, video games are a massive investment to build from the ground up. The entire process of making one is spending money after spending money after spending money while making none of it back until the game itself is actually finished, sold, and released. So even in the world where Capcom would happily shove some of their money for the games over to the production company making the movie, this money does not exist yet. The money made from Monster Hunter Rise won't actually be properly with Capcom until March of next year. The movie, which you think it will be funding, releases in December. So not only is the game something that is likely running at a loss for them until after the film releases, but also the film is already finished being made. The film has more than likely been finished being made for a number of months now. That's how movies work. The last few months of the process is marketing and setting up the release infrastructure and all that stuff. So this movie has already been paid for. It's finished. If you're upset because you don't have a Nintendo Switch and you don't get to play the game, that's fair enough, but don't just wildly fling untrue statements of venom around the place like a vocabulary temper tantrum. If this was someone's first interaction with the series, if it was reading this comment, how sad would that be? And entirely unfair to everyone involved. Commander?
In relation to a non-spread bowgun build, why the F would I use this when HBG spread is a thing and is significantly safer while also doing much higher amounts of damage for literally no recoil/reload trade-off?
Fun! The answer you're looking for is fun! Commander?
Honestly, not a fan of how Monster Hunter Rise looks overall. One thing I've always appreciated about the good Monster Hunter games, they don't take their story seriously. It's all fluff before combat. It also looks exploration heavy, and the grapple rope thingy is just an inferior clutch claw. Lots of red flags with this one, not gonna lie. It barely looks like a true Monster Hunter game.
Hello, if you just completely ignored the game's systems the entire time you played, are you, okay, let's start off at the start. You're wrong. The best Monster Hunter games have the best stories. Just look at how vivid the community's love is for Monster Hunter 4 and 4U, quite notably because of the story, and then the influx of players in World with our stronger story elements and direction, with all the ridiculous amounts of voice acting and cutscenes involved. The Monster Hunter games that you consider the best may be the ones with less story elements, but the Monster Hunter games that are generally agreed to be the best among everyone are the ones that also happen to have the best stories. Just saying. Not only that, but where have you gotten the impression that this story will be anywhere more serious than the others? We have gotten minimal info about it. You're just applying your fears to what could come to pass. Exploration heavy is a good thing, not a bad thing. And the best part about exploration is you can just choose, to not do it. Rise, like World, looks to have tons of mechanics that exist that you can enjoy and take part in, or just entirely avoid and focus on hunting if you really want to. If you don't like it, don't do it.
I'm going for a Shia LaBeouf thing.
And that grapple rope thingy's name is the Wirebug, and he is your cute little insect friend who you will respect and who is undeniably superior to the Clutch Claw. We don't have to worry about tenderizing or flint shotting anymore, and instead we get tons of extra mobility and mobility-based attacks. What about that is inferior? Not gonna lie, this barely looks like a true Monster Hunter opinion. Commander?
All the monsters have the same basic look, all of whom look like a demonic chicken. I don't get the popularity of this game.
You need glasses, because unless your eyesight is bad enough that chickens look like amorphous blobs, and then monsters look like amorphous blobs, then it is fair enough to say that every monster looks like a chicken, because that's your truth. However, my truth, as someone with still severely bad eyesight, is that this series has quite possibly the most diverse cast of creatures in any game that I have ever played that doesn't have literally randomly generated creatures. Not just the number of different creatures, but the variety between them and the detail of them at opposite ends of the spectrum. The complete visual difference between something like Yamasukami, who is beautiful, and something like Great Azuchi, who is also beautiful, neither of which are a demonic chicken or look like a demonic chicken. No, that role belongs specifically to Jan Garuga, the only chicken in the world strong enough to fight off a pickle. Commander?
What the fuck is this shit? How do you even kill the Tigrex thing with the big head? It's literally impossible. And I say that as both a Dark Souls and Monster Hunter World veteran who is used to hardcore games. I regret this purchase so much. I should never have listened to you guys. This game is ridiculous. How the fuck do you even heal when you stand there for literally 2 hours? Literally.
Okay, sorry. I tried not to laugh. I feel for you in a way. We've all had particularly rough nights where a hunt just isn't going our way time after time after time. But if you put that experience out into the world, you're just asking to be poked at. And so, poke I shall. First, I absolutely love that you called Tigrex big head. Like, his head is relatively proportional to the rest of his body, but the energy emanating from that sentence is just so filled with salt in a wholesome way that I love it. Tigrex, especially in the old games, was 90% charges. Just let him charge 3 times, then attack him in the opening it presents. What a lot of people who post things like this tend to forget is that the quest timers in this game are generally quite long, at least until you get to certain DLC quests that shorten it, in fact in the series as a whole. If you are fainting 3 times in 20 minutes to a monster, the best way to give yourself a better chance is to play slower and safer. Use the rest of your timer wisely and only attack when it is genuinely safe to. Then you never have to heal in the first place. But then, even if you do, I get that going from world style to old style, standing still for potions is really weird, but it's not slow. I mean, it's actually faster than healing is in the new world. It's just less convenient and more methodical. Essentially what I'm trying to say to this player is, slow the fuck down, friend. You're going about things too fast and it's clearly putting a lot of stress on you. Man, I'm sorry guys, I was so angry at the first few. I ran out of juice for the last one and just wound up sounding like a concerned father figure who's had a little bit to drink. Alright everyone, Commander included, I've been Cotton Dinosaur and this has been me giving my opinions on some extremely questionable opinions about Monster Hunter while presenting them all to you. So, do you secretly agree with any of these takes? Do you have any ridiculous opinions that you would like me to roast? Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
This is the brand new outro to tell you all the things that you do that we love. So let's start with something simple and say, oh, we love your eyes. When they're watching us play video games, when we make a bunch of jokes that are kinda lame, or when they gaze upon our failures as we try to kill the monsters or important news about the kingdom and Amelia. Rage, Continent, Hollow, we're all here talking about the things you want to hear. So if you want to be the first to hear, like and subscribe and the bell and we'll cheer. Some of you are patrons, even though we are all the noobs and you're the pros. There's nothing we can do to thank you. No, really, there's nothing we could possibly do. Goodbye.